I have a picture from like when I was 16 years old and I welded together an owl out of like pipe cutoffs. Mm-hmm. It's kind of dog shit. Like, it's not like, wow, it's incredible. You know, gotta start somewhere.
Welcome back to the Take It Outside podcast. I'm your host, Sam Mackey. And my co-host went back to Montana to try to fill his bowl tag. But this is the podcast where we talk about all things outdoors and just getting outside in general, where the good things in life happen. Today in the studio, we have the owner and creative engine behind Metal Monkey Design Co., a shop known for bold custom metalwork, and she makes some of the coolest pieces that I have ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jen Loree. And
there you go. Got the French in there. French accent.
Did I nail that? I went to Paris recently. Brushed up on my French a little bit.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Well, thanks for the introduction. That's a big compliment, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, I'm gonna get right to the question that's been on my mind. I was looking through your Instagram, looking at all your cool statues, and our artwork that you've done. And then I see this monster barreled chested of a man that looks like a freedom fighter. Are you dating a team guy?
I am.
Atta girl. Good for you.
One and only Sean Johnson.
Awesome. Was he a East Coast cat or a West Coast guy?
He was in San Diego.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm Canadian. I don't even know what a Navy SEAL was. Probably, so I met him.
Oh, really?
just movies.
Yeah.
I had this whole idea. The fantasy.
Is he exceeding the expectations?
SEAL. Oh yeah, great guy.
The only bad thing about it, if you guys ever break up, and I hope you don't, you're gonna have to go dating Gen Pop again. Maybe some accountant or something like that. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, quite the difference, especially coming from Canada too, because there's a huge difference between like Canadian men and then like Southern men.
All right, let's get into this. What's the difference?
Yeah. Just like the chivalry and manners is completely different.
Really?
Holding the door open, just things that, men should be doing. And
guys don't do that up there?
Not the ones I dated, but I might just have bad taste. So.
Well, I'm as a fellow team guy to your boyfriend, I am glad you are dating a team guy. It's just good people and good for the community. So
yeah, I don't think you can go back after that too. It's just
it's tough. We do a lot of things with Gold Star wives and widows of our Naval Special Warfare Gold Star wives, widows for of Navy SEALs, right? And we always do an annual hunt in Kentucky and have some Gold Star wives out, and they're all around the fire talking. And we're in there, and a lot of them have since went on to remarry other team guys. And so I was just, interested a little in that, the dichotomy of that, pathway, right? What does that look like? And I was asking my friend, and she's like, well, what do you expect us to do? Like, just go date normal people? You guys aren't normal. And
it's a whole different personality.
Yeah, it's interesting, huh?
It can be a lot sometimes, but then also there's a lot of respect, I think, too, that comes with it.
Yeah,
just
sure.
Knowing like what you guys went through. So to date someone out of that realm it's just like nobody else will live up to the standard.
Hey, hey, you said it. I didn't.
No offense to 90% of the population of men out there.
The general population. So, all right, let's get
a lot of hate for these comments here. Thanks.
No, not a problem. I had to put it on Front Street though. When I saw that bone frog on his chest, I'm like, ha, bingo.
Nailed it.
So, let's start from the beginning. Where'd you grow up and how did you get into metalworking? Is that the right terminology? Metalworking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I still consider myself a welder a lot of the time. I think that's just was such a big part of my life, up until 6 years ago. So yeah, I don't even know. I think metal sculpture, metal art.
Yeah.
Whatever sounds coolest. But yeah, I grew up in Alberta, Canada.
Okay.
Born and raised, and grew up in a very small town. We lived on an acreage. And I think at about 15 years old, you know, like many high school students, had no idea what I wanted to do. There's like the odd few who do know what they want to do after high school, but I didn't. And I didn't like school. And I like partying and, you know,
Me
having
too.
fun. Oh, yeah. So school was like on the back burner. So any excuse to get out of school, I was all in. And like I said, we grew up on an acreage, so I needed gas money, a job. So I had a career counselor, I think in grade 10, approach me, and you know, we had this program called the Registered Apprentice Program in Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
So in high school, you could pick a trade and then go to work, but you would gain like apprenticeship hours and then also high school credits and get paid. So it seemed like the perfect.
That's a pretty legit
option.
deal.
Yeah, like for kids who like don't like sit still and don't like school, it's pretty badass. I don't know if they still have it. I hope they still do. And yeah, my stepdad was in the oil field. He was very successful. And actually, I think the original plan, I wanted to be like a welding inspector. Like for a woman, I'm like, that seems to be like a good job, high paying. So I figured I'd choose welding. So yeah, I started welding in like a fabrication shop at 15 years old. Just a young young duck out there with a bunch of old crotchety men. So I've had an interesting, you know.
And that was through
journey.
Through the high school.
So the program was through the high school, but I got like a regular job at this shop. Yeah. So I would leave school at like noon and then go work the rest of the day. So instead of an elective, basically, this like working was the elective.
Got it.
So I got all my high school credits and
what were you welding at that first job? You know, what do they have you doing on a daily basis?
Yeah, it wasn't welding. Probably like the first few months, bottom of the totem pole. Like you're a high school kid, so. But I was still around the world, so I was weed whacking, like doing shitty jobs like that. But then, you know, like throughout the week, I'd have a couple moments where they'd be like, "Hey, Jen, come over here and you know, weld this," something like unimportant. So yeah, I think it took like 6 months before I was actually able to get in the shop and like start actually learning the trade. And yeah, the first time I tried it, I was like, this is it. Like all the plans of being an inspector pretty much went out the window. I'm like, that's lame. I want to be a fucking welder. Like I loved it.
What about it intrigued you so much? And what type of welding were you doing initially? I have zero welding knowledge. I think I plateaued in my welding career in the 8th grade in middle shop with like a tack welder that we were allowed to use. And I don't even know if it's a tack welder. It was this, there is, I believe, a big hook looking thing, and you would put 2 pieces of metal in there and you would press down on the handle, and this bar would drop down on the piece of metal and weld it together.
Oh shit. Okay.
Granted,
I've never even.
This is, you know, probably 1995, 6-ish.
Okay.
You know? So that's the only type
born that year. So
yeah, that was the only type of welding that I ever did. Very interesting. I'll try to find a picture one and send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now I have to do my research.
So now I blabber through that and I sound like an idiot because that machine, I can't describe it. But anyway, what type of welding were you doing when you first got to the shop?
I was doing stick welding. So, you know, that's where you have a stinger, you put the rod in. That's like TIG welding, I would say, is the most difficult. It's funny, like there's little, what do you call it? Stereotypes in welding. Okay. So like MIG welders aren't respected very much. That's like wire welding. Yeah. And then you have the stick welders. Those are like your pipeliners, badasses. And then you got TIG welders, and that's like very clean, careful, like welding on cars and stuff like that. So I started out stick welding, which I think is the best way to get into it, because there's a lot of technique involved, and you really learn how to move like the weld puddle and everything like that. So the shop I was in, I'm in Alberta, so everything's like oil field, right? So basically there was some structure. There was a structural shop, and then there was a pipe shop. So basically like welding pipe modules that would then be brought up to the like pipeline stations and like put together up there. So yeah, I think when I first started out, I was like working on a table and just tack welding for guys. Like, so tacking fittings together and then you bring them to the welders because you need like special tickets, right? To like weld on pressure pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just do odd jobs. Like if there was like a fence to fix or just little shit to build, they're pretty good there. So yeah, I think, I don't know what I loved about it. I feel like I have like always been an artist. Like I wasn't a good artist. I wasn't like a good painter, drawer, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something that's been in me and I kind of found that welding, because it's kind of art in itself. It's like there's a lot of technique involved and like making it look good. And so yeah, I was just really drawn to it right away.
This podcast was brought to you by Outsider. Check us out at www.outsider.com. Outsider is an outdoor lifestyle brand owned and operated by me, retired Navy SEAL Sam Mackey, and my dear friend and former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler. At Outsider, we encourage everyone to get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. Head over to outsider.com to check out our unique patent-pending drinkware. Outsider's drinkware can be customized with your personal or business logo. Go to outsider.com, upload your logo, and we will send you visual proofs and great wholesale pricing. And don't forget, get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer.
For sure. And at what point, did you did the transition start into, the sculptures and the beautiful artwork that you do now? Like when was the first time you realized that you could do that or that you wanted to do it?
Yeah, it's a good question because it honestly didn't even cross my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would not in a million years. And I think too, I grew up in a small town in Alberta, right? So I don't even think I knew that was an option. Like nobody, the welders I knew, like would laugh at you, if you were like, I'm going to make a career in welding art,
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, oh, that's the R word. You can't say it on the podcast. So, yeah, I think, I don't know, but I like kind of always was drawn to it because when like the shop was slow, I'd go in there when no one was in there and I would weld together like cut off pipe ends and stuff. So I have a picture from like when I was 16 years old and I welded together an owl out of like pipe cutoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of dog shit. Like it's not like, wow, it's incredible. Gotta start somewhere. So yeah, I like dabbled in it a little bit, but honestly it's, I think number one, I'm working with all men, right? So it's already, I'm trying to like blend in and be cool, So I wouldn't have been caught. Like I was like, almost embarrassed to like do that, which is like, ridiculous, but
Mm-hmm.
it took a while. And then, so graduated high school, got my journeyman ticket at 21. And throughout those years, I did lots of like, pipeline jobs, compressor stations,
Mm-hmm.
just a bunch of different, fields of the trade. And then I had my daughter at 22. So completely unexpected. I was actually on a job and I was planning to like rig up a truck and go pipelining. And that was what I thought my life was going to be. So that was, obviously a big turn of events in my life. I think I struggled for a bit too, because my whole adult life, I built up this identity of being like the cool, tough welder chick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I was like changing diapers and pushing a stroller around. So that like was a bit difficult for me. So yeah, I had Ellie, I think when she was 3 months old, because I was young, I wasn't ready to give up the career. So when she was 3 months old, I went and got my B pressure like welding ticket, which is certification to weld on pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is like, that's out of all the stuff I've done and all the art, that's like the thing I'm most proud of is getting that ticket, honestly. Yeah, and then I couldn't find work. Like she was almost 1 year old and I still couldn't find a job like around home. So yeah, I wanted to get back welding. So I started welding in my single car garage. First, I started doing like table bases and like actual, structures that people would buy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I started messing around with art.
What was the first thing that you built that someone bought?
I think it was like a little robin, like a bird made out of spoons and knives, like butter knives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I made one for my grandpa first. It's like terrible. I was at my grandma's the other day looking at him like, Grandma, can I take that and like get you a new one? She's like, we love it. I love it. Yeah, he would never let me like alter it in all these years.
Absolutely
my grandma's passed away now, but yeah, so she's not letting me touch that. And then they just got bigger. Like there's a lot of artists, and no hate, I respect it, but who do the same thing, like they'll only do like these cutlery birds for their entire career. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I have just like low attention span, probably a bit of it. But I've rarely done like the same thing twice unless, someone's paying me to do so. So I did like a couple of those birds, and then I was asked to do more, but I'm like, I can't, I don't want to do this. So then they just got bigger. I did like a mallard duck then out of like cutlery. And that's how I started, because I wasn't really sculpting then. It was more just like welding the utensils together to make something. Did it matter what type of spoons or knives or forks you use? Do they have to be, like high quality stainless steel, or what's the go-to cutlery for welding? Yeah, not high quality, just stainless steel. So okay. I would go to like your Salvation Army and just like rate it. I kind of feel bad now. There's probably a lot of people who were out of utensils because of me. No, don't feel bad. Salvation Army thrift shops, they're first come, first serve. No one's feeling bad for you when they take that last coat or anything like that. The looks they would give me when I would just bring like a box and load it up, and they're like, what the fuck? I'm selling them on the black market. It's fine. Yeah, running this fork program over here on the side. Yeah, and they would have to count them. Like they would like count them. Sometimes they let me help, and I'd do like 1, 2, I'd, put like 5 together. So yeah, that's what I started. And then like when I really got into sculpting was like with the Wild Sheep Foundation, like the doll sheep, and actually like welding and moving the metal around, That was the first big piece that you did? That sheep? Yeah, for sure. That sheep's amazing. And I had no idea. Thank you. Did you see the one, like not the skull, but the actual? Yes, I did. Like doll, like sheep head. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a challenge because I didn't go to art school. I think people will figure like I have experience in art, but like now I do, I guess. So walk me through that piece a little bit, and because it was your first big one, and did you think you would be able to tackle that project when you got tasked with it? So that's the thing. I think like why I'm successful in what I do. I don't even give that a thought. Like that's not an option. Because I've always been. I think I grew up with an older brother, and then getting into the trades. My whole life has been like proving people wrong. So I think that's a lot of the motivation and drive behind like working so hard at this. But yeah, it's honestly like, I don't even give it a thought. I like have an idea and I just do it. And I'm also not like a planner at all. Like I don't ever draw anything up. I'll look at pictures. That's like usually how I build these pieces. So it's kind of like by memory, like looking at it and then going to my piece and like memorizing the shapes or whatever, I'm working on. And yeah, I'm really bad at like time management. So yeah, I just like, I have, 2 kids and I'm better now. I'm like running a business. I have to be, but at the beginning I was kind of like thrown into the deep end, like people expected a lot from me early on, like online and social media, because you come out of the gate and you do something really awesome. And then they're waiting for the next piece to be even better. So, I put a lot of pressure on myself, but yeah, I did that piece, like pretty much all my early projects were done with like one angle grinder and the welder. I didn't have like a plasma cutter, so every shape was cut with like an angle grinder and a zip disc. Just really ridiculous. That's amazing. Yeah. It's not fun. Like now I'm like, man, you could have just saved up. a little bit of money and bought some proper tools, but I kind of take pride in that too. It's,
so this
like,
awesome,
if I can do it with that.
This awesome career that you started, coincides with the birth of your daughter, right? How old are your kids?
Ellie is 6 and my little guy's 4.
Nice. I have 5, 7, and 9, and they're the light of my life. I have 3 little girls.
Nice.
It's the team guy curse. Everyone has
That's
little
Sean
girls.
was saying the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, he has 2 daughters.
This is about I don't know, I guess 9 years ago now. When my oldest was born, me and all my friends, everyone kind of had children around the same area, and we had some sort of party. Of course, everyone brought their babies, and in our living room, I think there's 9 or 10 babies lined up in their carriers about to go in the car, and there was one boy.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. I have no clue why.
But why do you think that is?
Well,
what's your theory?
There's a few theories, right? There's the one of breathing either the soda absorb or 100% oxygen for so long on our dives. So I've heard that theory. I've heard the radio theory, like talking on radios, having those, 5-watt radios on your hips, forever. I've heard of that. And I think there's a few other ones, but I'm not too sure what they are, but no one really knows.
So there's a little bit of science behind it then. I was wondering.
A little bit.
I thought you were going to have some outlandish theory.
A little bit, but I also think it's who we should have. And because I have 3 little girls, and I think it'd be, cool to have a boy because I have some, interesting skills that I think a boy would appreciate, more than most girls, right? But the way I'm raised, I don't think I would raise my boy any different than I'm raising girls. But I'm not too sure. The one thing I do know is I'd be a hell of a lot more strict on them, right? And maybe that's why I don't have one, because I might be that asshole dad. I'm not too sure, and I just can't be an asshole to these beautiful little girls that I have that are just the light of my life, So maybe
I guess
maybe that's it.
Yeah, your expectations with a boy, coming from your field would be a lot higher.
Yeah. Like if
tough life.
If someone messed with one of their sisters and he didn't whoop their butt, he's getting his ass kicked when he gets home, and
right.
And maybe God knew that was too much for me to handle. So I'm not too sure, but but
that's awesome though. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm I didn't really grow up. I grew up with an older brother, so I almost envy the girls who didn't have any brothers, because their dads were kind of forced to teach them the things they would have taught a boy. Where when you grow up sometimes with a brother, he gets all of that, and you're kind of expected to be more doing the more girly stuff, which I fought my whole life.
I definitely see that, and I would definitely probably do that without even having any meaning behind it. Oh, boys, we'll go do hunting and we'll do this, we'll shoot, we'll do all this. And the, girls, you can go with your mom and go get your nails done. Right. And because that's just the piles that we put, ourselves and our personalities in and everything like that. But now that I don't have that, now I bring my girls hunting and fishing, right? Because I don't have a 100%. Boy. And I know by default, one of them's going to love it as much as I do. I the chances are with me, and
the odds are in your favor.
Yep. So
that's interesting. Now that you said that, I mean, I don't blame my dad for that. You said, it's kind of just a natural. I think a lot of men assume she wouldn't enjoy this, and when you're so young too, it's you don't really have much of a voice.
And then I think my middle daughter, she's so sweet. She's the best. She's the toughest. She's the best sharer. And there's been multiple times when I'm anybody want to go sit in the tree stand? And no. Then she feels bad for me, so she'll go. And then she likes, daddy-daughter time. So I think I'm getting to the point to where they're old enough to where they know if they go, it's a special time. So they might get treats or get to do something, a little wild that their mom would never let them, or something of that nature. Right. And I think they're going to start craving that, father-daughter relationship more. And I can't wait till they're old enough and I can bring them out on hunting trips and everything. So I'm really
it's so important now to with how the world is and all the like iPads and technology and crazy shit,
Yeah.
I think it's like, as parents, that's like something that we all should be doing, is just getting them outside and as much as possible and getting them to like showing them how to enjoy it, I guess.
I completely agree. And, we don't have any devices or iPads or phones or anything like that for our kids in our house. It's just a hard no. And, it just pisses me off. I walk around the neighborhood and I see women pushing kids in strollers, and there's a iPhone in the stroller and the kid's like 18 months old. I'm like,
I know.
I'm not a doctor,
Yeah.
but there's something that's got to be, bad about looking at that screen. It's going to, do something bad to that child's mind or eyesight or all the above. And then there's also something that is obviously healing about nature. And that kid needs to look up and hear the birds and see the, trees and feel the wind. And you're just taking that away from them and put them in front of a fucking iPhone when they're 18 months old in a stroller walking around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to me.
Well, even thinking about how it affects yourself, right? Like when you're staring at your phone and scrolling on Instagram before bed, or even just my attention span now, like I'm a little bit younger, but even when I was in high school, we had like those great big Apple computers. Like they were so slow, but you were used to it. You waited. Like now we're just so like, we want more and more and more. We're so used to like this quick technology. And so imagine like being a baby and that's all
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta mess with like the human brain a little bit for sure.
That, and I don't know if this is that accurate of a correlation, but I remember, during sniper school, you look through that glass so much, your eyes get real blurry and it hurts your eyes. And they always tell you, hey, look at the green grass, and because the green grass will relax your eyes more than anything else. And it'll help, speed up that recovery process. Because I remember my eye being so blurry, I couldn't read a license plate that was maybe, 10 yards away. And they always tell you to look at green grass. Well, I believe there's something in nature to cure everything, right? And there has to be something, in that the color of the grass, the color of the trees, that is healthy and beneficial to us as humans. And we're just keep getting further and further away from that. And to your point of our attention span being nil compared to your artwork, is, hey, I do this big, beautiful piece of artwork that's the best thing I've ever done in my life. And now people just want more. You want more. You want more.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a horrible cycle. Right. Everyone just expects the next best thing immediately.
100%. Yeah. And that's like the struggle too with social media is like to like stand out, because that's what it's all about, right? Engagement. Yep. So it's like if you're not catching people's attention, even though what you're doing, like for myself, is extremely frustrating, because it's like I'm in here, and you're busting your fucking ass, like hours and hours, blood, sweat, and tears. And if you're not like catching their attention with some hook line at the beginning, they're like on to the next. And I'm the same way. Like it's just what it is. But yeah, it's we live in a like extremely strange time for sure.
And I'm sure you can relate to this a little bit. Is like, hey, I'm not trying to throw clickbait out there or bullshit or anything like that, but then on the other token, it's like, am I going to get left behind? And our business runs off social media just as much probably as yours does. And so you have to, engage with the consumers. You have to get engagement. You have to produce content that is catchy, that people like. And then next thing you know, you're like, man, I'm one of those people that's encouraging this quick, transition from good, great, great, or good, great. Like this is all you want to see, and now I'm feeding into that. It's quite the conundrum, right?
Yeah, the way they set it up too, for sure. Like the algorithm. It's like if you're not getting on the trending songs or doing the this and that, then like you said, you're left behind. And when your business, kind of runs off social media, and it's a blessing and a curse, because that's how my business got going. That's how I've sold, I want to say like 99% of my art is through social media. But it's a huge fucking pain in the ass, especially when you're running like a full-time thing. It's just like, it's such a pain in the ass, to be honest, but got to do it.
When did you get into hunting? Because I think the first time we met in person was with at Bert's event, Winter Strong, a handful of years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I met you there, and then I think I bumped into you at Attack somewhere along the line as well, possibly. And I know you're a big archery hunter, but I was curious when you got started, and do you ever rifle hunt?
Yeah, so kind of like I was saying before, as like a very young kid, I didn't really get to go out very much. That being said, I was always around it. Like we always had dead animals hanging in the garage. So I was familiar with it, but I didn't really start hunting, I would say, until like middle school, junior high. So when I started going with my brother, because we lived on an acreage and we could pretty much hunt like all over. And I actually only rifle hunted up until like 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, because none of my family archery hunted, nobody had much time. So,
what were you hunting back then? Was it deer, geese, ducks?
Yeah, just whitetail. So we were in Alberta. I didn't really do much like geese hunting. Probably like 8 years ago. I lived in Saskatchewan for a couple years, so that's pretty much the hot spot for bird hunting.
I've always wanted to go to Saskatchewan because I remember, as a kid watching Jim Shockey, and he was always killing, monster whitetail and black bears up in Saskatchewan. I'm like, one day I'm going to save up all my money and I'm going to make it to Saskatchewan for a hunt. And I've hunted a lot of places, but I've yet to go to Saskatchewan. We were up in Alberta a couple weeks ago. I was up there with Josh Smith and a crew of guys. We were snow goose hunting and duck hunting. That was a hell of a time.
It's so much fun, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a ton of fun, but it's like, if you like to like more, then that's why it's fun, right? Yeah. It's not like one and done, but like taking down a big animal that's another kind of,
that's how I feel too. Experience. And I think there's two types of folks, and you either prefer wing shooting or you prefer, I'm going to call it deer hunting or like hunting larger game. And the guys that, like wing shooting, that bug bites them hard, especially duck hunters. Man, you're buying a boat, you're buying multiple pairs of $1,000 waders, you have all these decoys, you're buying a dog, you're sending your dog out to, get trained and coming back. And that's
it's a whole nother like group.
It is
outside of like the big game hunters. Mm-hmm. I think my brother got me my first deer. I think that was in like junior high, and then I was hooked.
That's pretty cool experience with your brother.
Yeah, I just got off work, so I was like in the welding shop, and he like picked me up, and I got it within like half an hour leaving work. So, and then like I said, that like started the fire. So I think it's cool you're bringing your kids out. I'm actually bringing my daughter. We're going to go out. Well, there's 1 week left of whitetail season here. So I'm going to take her out on Saturday, and hopefully she can watch me, get my deer.
I certainly hope so. How cold is it up there right now?
Yeah, it's actually not too bad. I think like 0, -10, like pretty mild for up here right
Celsius.
now. Celsius.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like 32, 20-ish degrees, right?
Sure.
I think 0 is 32.
It's ridiculous that we're not using the same system at this point.
Yeah. We had this conversation when we were up there in Alberta. We're the only ones that are not on the metric system, right? Out of like almost everyone in the world.
The world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's like to be different.
Do you know why that is?
I don't. Do you?
Ben, Trevor, why are we on the metric system? Why are we not on the metric system?
I can Google it real quick.
Thank you. Just shout in when you have the answer. So what got you into
bow? Soon if go ahead.
How'd you get into bow hunting?
Bow hunting. Yeah, I think so when I did that doll sheep for Wild Sheep Foundation like 4 years ago, mm-hmm. Jim Shockey actually is the one who really put it out there for me. And I just found him, I think Ducks Unlimited like shared something, and then fellow Canadian. Yep. So I talk about him like every podcast because he was like the first, like bigger name that just like kind of took me in and was happy to share my stuff. And then I think I started following Cam Haynes. So
Okay,
that I think he's the one who I was like, that's fucking awesome. So definitely a little inspiration there. So yeah, I bought just a super cheap bow, like a diamond. And then 5 months later, I went spring bear hunting, like 5 months after I got the bow, which was, it was the coolest thing I've ever done.
Where did you go bear hunting at?
North Saskatchewan.
Okay.
So
is that the color phase bear that's on your Instagram?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful bear.
Thank you. Yeah. Bear hunting, that's a different kind of excitement. Have you been?
Yes. And I think bear hunting is my favorite.
Yeah. And it's
for some reason. Yeah. It's real different. Like, I killed my first elk last year. I did that with a bow. Then I killed a cow elk this year with a rifle a couple weeks ago. I've shot a lot of deer with a bow and rifle. And been to Africa with a rifle before. But I've never shot a bear with my bow. But I love bear hunting more than anything else. And I don't know why. Maybe
I think like predator hunting, like the excitement of,
I think so too.
It could turn around and kill you at any moment.
And
it's exciting.
You can't see it because of this angle, but I have a big bear on the wall right here next to me that I shot in Maine. And I just think they're just such cool animals, and I appreciate them so much, and like to then be able to have one and, look at it forever. I mean, it's a freaking bear. Like that's cool to have,
I know.
On your wall to look at forever. Right. And so
it's so cool. Even without like killing one, it just like the excitement of watching them that close.
Oh, for sure.
I think non-hunters, it's so hard to explain to them because I think it's all about killing. Right.
Yep.
And it's like just getting to be that up close with these animals. Sometimes you don't even want to shoot. You're just enjoying the moment. I mean, unless you get a shot.
So I completely agree with you. And I tell people this all the time. I call it tree stand therapy. You're up there and you're watching all these animals, and you really, if the wind's right and you've got in there early, you really never know what you're going to see. Right. You could see, a fox with its baby, little pups chasing mice. You could see an armadillo climbing a tree, or, a bobcat. This shit that you just typically don't see. And it's just, it's the greatest thing in the world. And, I've had this idea lately, and I don't know if it ever come to fruition. But if you start like I'm going to call it like a bougie hunt camp, right? So, but more of a holistic retreat, and you have tree stands everywhere. But and for people that don't hunt, they just go up in the tree stand and you drink wine and have a charcuterie board and watch the animals.
See, I was thinking more along the lines of like ayahuasca retreat. But then you're up. That might get a little crazy though.
Yeah,
might be too much for people.
I think that might be a little too much. But I'm totally down for that. I'm looking at doing that here fairly shortly. Have you done? No, I haven't. I got offered to go in January, but it coincides with a hunt that or it overlaps with the hunt that we have, so I can't go. So I was looking for other dates later on in the year, but I've heard nothing but great things about it from all my buddies that have gone. Has your boyfriend gone?
Yeah, he has.
Oh, really?
I think he did DMT, and I did ayahuasca, like actually before, or maybe I just met him. It was right around that time. And then, he did a DMT one. I think like he was out already the teams for a little while, but completely changed his life.
Really?
Like completely turned his life around. Yeah.
Where did you go, and where did he go?
So I think Rick, I don't know what his last name is. He's a fellow team guy, but he has a retreat. I want to say it's right in Texas. They have a couple. There's one in Mexico and then one in Texas. Okay. But it was only one day DMT. But I mean, the amount he got out of it. And then I think, he was doing like the mushroom thing for a bit after, but because I mean, I wasn't with him when he was in, but just the stories he tells, and it's really like I have a lot of respect for him, just to be able to like come out of that, be in the darkest hole and climb out of it. But he does like pay a lot of that to like this trip. So I was going to ask you if you've been.
No.
Because you've been out for a while?
I retired January of 24.
Okay, so fairly recently.
Yeah, fairly recently. And to be completely honest, I didn't want to do it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And but then when I really like question myself, I don't want to do it because I'm scared. And I'm just scared of the whole process.
Unknown territory.
Yeah, right. And because I've heard nothing but great things, but I've also heard like it's not the easiest thing, right? Especially ayahuasca, and if you do the 5-MeO DMT, like the next day.
I think that's the one he did.
Yep, the frog venom, right? I heard it. You have to unpack quite a bit, and I think maybe I'm just intimidated by that whole process, and you're out of control too. I know, right? And at first I'm like, oh no,
completely out of control.
I don't want to go. I don't need that. And then, to be honest, I was just lying to myself, and because I probably didn't want to admit to myself that I'm just scared of it, right? Because I was like, oh, I don't want to say that I'm scared and be macho. I'm like, no, you're just being a pussy. Mm-hmm. And like I realized that, and I've heard nothing but absolutely amazing things. So now I'm lining up a trip to go. And
oh, nice, good for you, man. So, yeah, he actually has his own podcast. He started like 6 months ago.
Give it a shout out.
He trained.
Yeah, give it a shout out. What is it?
So it's Sean Johnson podcast, and he trained Alex Jones. So everyone said Alex Jones got cloned. Sean was the one like training him and and all of that. So yeah, he's a pretty interesting guy to hang out with. But yeah, he's killing it. So he has a few podcasts though talking about like his experience and all of that. So
yeah, I'm going to give that a listen. We talk about it quite a bit on this show in multiple different contexts. Where did you go to do ayahuasca, and what did you think of it?
Whether you're trekking in the backcountry, bird hunting, or just chasing squirrels in the backyard, your dog needs fuel that can keep up with the adventure. And that's where Montana Dog Food comes in. Born in the heart of Big Sky Country, this isn't just dog food. It's adventure-grade nutrition. Crafted with responsibly sourced ingredients from the Western U.S. and freeze-dried to lock in every ounce of goodness, Montana Dog Food Company delivers clean, powerful fuel for your pup's wild side. No shortcuts, no synthetic junk, just premium, nutrition-packed meals and treats designed to support strong muscles, healthy joints, and endless energy, whether you're trekking trails or snuggling by the fire. So give your dog the food that fuels their adventurous spirit. Go to montanadogfoodco.com and feed your dog the best.
So I think the shaman was like from British Columbia, but he was there was like a retreat in Saskatchewan. So it was like a one-on-one and just like a wild experience. It was a little more like spiritual, I think. So they had like we were in this kind of cabin thing and he was playing drums and just crazy. So I think when you're going into it, and this I think is everyone's thought, like there's like an oh fuck moment right before it hits and you're like, I don't want to do this, but it's too late at that point. When I came out of it, honestly, like have never felt better. Like it's like really hard to explain. I think it just makes you see the world differently in like a good way. It just completely changes your way of thinking. But then, like you said, it's not like one and done. It shows you things, but you have to still put in the work after the fact.
Are you going to do it again?
I don't know. I'm kind of at a place in my life where I feel like pretty good. I think when you're going through a very confusing time in life and you're kind of looking for some answers, which is where I was, that's kind of what, made me want to do it. I would definitely do it again though. I'm curious to see, what the next level is, I guess.
Yeah. That was my thought. If it, when you said, you want to do it, if you're in a time in your life that's a little confusing and you're looking for answers and it helps you. Well, if you're in a better spot, in a good spot, how much more could it help you? That's what I'm curious about now. Like if you go do it right now, like, hey man, I'm firing on all cylinders. I think life is going pretty well, but let's go do it again and see if you can't make, go from good to great. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I think it's like everyone's experience is very different, but I went into it with like very clear expectations of what I wanted. And I feel like a lot of questions were answered, but then there's also the fear, when you're doing good in life, I don't want anything to mess up what's happening, So there's also that fear. And then also like I've asked Sean
sure.
if he would want to do it, but I've heard really good things about couples doing it and then like really bad things.
What bad things have you heard?
I don't know. I think just because like when you're both doing it like so close together, like he's dealing with all his stuff and you're dealing with all your stuff. And so like everything that he's dealing with is kind of getting put on you. And I don't know, just think,
yeah.
Have you done drugs? Things can get a little interesting.
My wife she's shown willingness to do it. And,
nice.
Because now a bunch of my buddies' wives are going down and doing it. It's becoming a thing amongst, a lot of the wives. And there's all sorts of, organizations from the Navy SEAL Foundation to the Steps Foundation that do awesome things for gals that are with their husbands that are retired. Because, not many gals make it to the finish line, of doing a whole career with a team guy. It's just life is just different, right? And it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
And so Katie, she's a closet gangster. She made the full ride, and she's loving my life. But now, all these organizations are realizing, like, man, these girls have dealt with just as much trauma, like because they've been dealing with our bullshit for 20 years, and that comes with a lot, right? And so now they're spending more time taking care of these wives, and I think it's pretty cool that what these organizations do for the wives. But with all that being said, it's opened her eyes to holistic medicine, and I never thought she would be open to going, but she has a couple of friends that have gone, and now she's open to doing it. Okay. So I think it'd be super cool.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that is the one thing I've found for sure. It like brings you a little closer to nature when you do it, and like wanting to live it like a healthier lifestyle. I'm happy. Well, it's that's the thing. Like up in Canada, I'm sure you've heard about all like the MAID, where they're like pushing suicide, like assisted suicide on all these veterans up in Canada. There's like crazy.
No, I have not heard this. Send it. Tell me about it.
Crazy numbers. Yeah, it's a huge issue. So I have a friend, Kelsey Sharon. This is like her main thing that she covers, but I don't want to mess it up because I don't know exact numbers. But basically, for a lot of these vets, this is like their first option that they're giving them. It's not, medicine or, these retreats or anything like that. This is like the first thing they're offering these people who are in a very dark place. And they're basically saying, here, call this number. And they're doing it to like teenagers now. Like it's like pretty messed up. It's a huge problem right now in Canada.
So I'm still a little confused. There's an organization out there calling veterans and kids, teenagers that are depressed, and they're coaxing them into suicide.
So it's basically, like assisted suicide is legal in Canada. So there's an organization. I want to say, and I don't know if they're just calling, but it's an organization that I think there's even been issues. You'll have to, whoever's listening, like do some research on this, but where doctors are like providing the number to this organization who's, is going to do the assisted suicide. And it's like a huge, I think really with the veteran community, because there's a lot of like, mental stuff and like depression. So the fact that it's kind of being like first and foremost thing that's offered before, other things is pretty horrible.
Assisted suicide. So I'm thinking like these organizations, I'm going to like euthanize these people?
Exactly. Yeah.
What?
And they're doing it to like kids with disabilities. It's a major, like, so my friend Kelsey, you guys will have to go check out her page because she's been fighting this.
How the fuck is this savagery legal?
Dude, Canada is in a very bad place. I think like a lot of people, I'm kind of in this world and I follow people like Kelsey. So, I'm aware of it, but there's a lot of messed up, like you've heard about the cloned meat thing in Canada.
I have not heard about that either. So
Canada's not doing well. So I think a couple weeks ago, Health Canada approved cloned meat in grocery stores, but they don't require a label. So they're going to be mixing in this disgusting manufactured cloned fake meat in with the regular meat. And so when you shop at the grocery store, you'll have no idea if that's, real meat or this garbage. And I've heard just horrible, horrible things about this. Like they're basically poisoning, the public. So that's why I'm going deer hunting this weekend.
Yeah, that was literally my thought. Well, even more the reason to get outside and go hunting.
Yeah.
But I still can't get over this euthanizing veterans and people, and teenagers is legal in Canada. Like, can Trevor, can we get a fact check on this real quick?
The legality of what in Canada?
Euthanizing.
So look up MAID, MAID. It's assisted suicide.
MAID, assisted suicide in Canada. This is unbelievable, and this is even with kids that are under 18.
Yeah, medical assistance in dying, a federal health service that allows eligible individuals to end their life with the help of a medical practitioner.
Yeah, that's.
You must be 18 years or older.
Governmental website.
Yeah, and I think so. What Kelsey's fighting, because this says they have all these. You must be a competent adult, suffering. But what she's fighting is that these people aren't necessarily like dying of like cancer or something like that. Mm-hmm. They're just in a bad place, mentally. So it's so messed up in the fact that like not everybody knows, and they're just doing this evil shit.
I certainly hope that, maybe we're just misinformed, and this program is set up for people that are terminally ill, that are dying an extremely painful death, that are already at the end of their life, that just want to be, lack of better terms, put out of their misery, right? Like I'm picturing an old man that's in hospice that just wants to, die, right? But if there's any bit of truth about, people that this organization aiding the suicide of people that are depressed or veterans or teenagers, it is so fucked up, and that needs to end. That is absolute horseshit.
Yeah, I think Joe Rogan talked about it, I think last week, because the numbers were so high for these like vets. Yeah. So go check out Kelsey's page.
I'm going to.
These are like legitimate numbers, and she's in like a war with these people. She's a vet too, so it's close to home. But it's pretty gross.
It's horrible. Absolutely fucking horrible. All right. What is the best hunt that you've been on thus far, and what is your bucket list hunt?
Ooh, I have many bucket list hunts. I'm gonna say the bear, of course. That was my first archery animal, and that's my only archery kill up to this point. That was 100% the coolest hunt. So when I was on the hunt, actually, the bear that I killed, we went out in the morning, and we were sitting in a tree stand, and there was a tree like 2 feet in front of us. And like, how you sit quiet and you can hear just barely. I feel like you don't even hear them. You see them and you're like, holy shit, there's a bear there. And so he went and fed for a bit, and then he climbed up the tree in front of us. Like, I shit you not. Craziest experience. Yeah. And his head was like right here, right in front of my face. It was fucking terrifying. So I had the guide beside me with the gun, and I remember being like gun. Like when they're this close, like one swipe, so that gave me like kind of a new respect for the animal. So he went down the tree, and shortly after I had to kill him. So he scared the shit out of me. But that was the coolest hunt. And then I think too, like you put so much work into like honing your skills with a bow. It's so satisfying when it all comes together. And like when you're in that moment, there's so much excitement. Like for me, I get really excited. You really have to like take a minute, slow down.
I get bad buck fever too. and I get so excited, and I have to get my shit together. I have to take a deep breath and draw back.
Like
and
talk to yourself out loud.
Yep. And I have this mantra I do, whether it's with a bow or a gun: breath in, breath out. And I think to myself, straight back, straight back, straight back. As I, pull on my release, which is a trigger, and or on the trigger of a gun. I have to do that. Otherwise, I'll throw the shot. Then I have to focus on my follow through, because I get jacked up whenever I'm about to shoot something. Yeah.
Did you say you were a sniper in the teams?
Yeah.
So do you use some of that, like when you're hunting, do you kind of use like the same conversations?
I have to.
Yourself?
I have to, because, I never, in my previous life, I never got like buck fever or like, oh shit, like we're in a gunfight and like nervous. It's just work. Right. And, you don't even think about it that much. But with an animal, I just feel like one thing that also jacks me up is I see it and I picture it on my wall already. Right. So now
I know. Yeah.
So now
get ahead of yourself.
I'm even more nervous, and I have to, break it down to, the fundamentals of shooting and talk myself through those fundamentals so I don't mess up. Otherwise I'll get excited and just throw a shot.
Especially with a bow too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like rifle hunting, it's a little more point and shoot, but there's so much that can go wrong. Actually on that bear hunt, it was so memorable because I'm brand new to archery, right? Mm-hmm. Keep in mind. And I had this shitty bow, and I didn't, the sight, there was like these knobs that could be twisted. So we're like walking through the trees, and it got loose at some point on the way to the stand. So in the morning, like the first time I've seen this bear, and I was like, yeah, that's the bear I want. I went and fired an arrow, and it fucking yard sailed because like the sight had dropped, and that completely like shook my confidence.
Oh, I bet.
So I took that one, and I'm like, the guide's like, what? I'm like, I have no fucking clue. Like I did everything right, I'm sure. He's like, well, fire another one. So, and the bear didn't move. Like he's having a good time at the barrel. So
thank goodness.
Sure enough, I'm like talking to myself, going through all the steps, right? Fire another one off. Like not even close to the bear. So this is advice, hey, for new archery hunters, don't be like me. And then we got down the tree stand. Yeah, I'm like, well, figured out that my sight was loose and dropped.
So then you went back and re-sighted in and fixed it all and went out the next day and got him?
Yeah, same bear came out. So I'm like depressed at this point.
Yeah. Oh, I would be too.
I'm like, I'm not. Yeah. Oh yeah, this bear's not coming back. I'm not going to get a bear. And it's a whole thing, right? Like going on a bear hunt. So yeah, get back to camp, dial in the sight. And I have like very low expectations at this point. I'm like, there's no way in hell that this bear is coming out again. But I have horseshoes up my ass, I guess. Sure enough. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, the sun's going down. Same bear walks out. I'm like, this fucker wants to die. Like, you had a lot of chances to get away. Yeah.
All right. Bucket list hunt.
Bucket list hunt. I think I got to say sheep. I really want to go on a sheep hunt.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like a bighorn mountain hunt.
Where at? Like if you just, if you get any tag.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of people like want to come up here to British Columbia and stuff, but I think being from Canada, it'd be fun to go somewhere else, like New Mexico, maybe, like go on a desert.
That would be sick. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Mine is
that would be really cool.
A big grizzly bear in Kodiak.
Yeah. Have you...
No.
Like, have you been out there?
Yeah, I went to Kodiak in 2007 for training and for cold weather training. But we went in February, and so all the bears were hibernating. And at least that's what they told us. So saw some footprints at one point, and but never saw a bear. But the guys that go in the spring, in the summer, I guess they see bears all over the place. And recently, when I say recently, I think this is maybe about 5 years ago now, or a little more. There was a couple instructors up in Kodiak, and there's an island called Elk Island, and apparently there's elk on this island. And it's where you do yeah, right. And it's where you do survival night, where at least it's where we did survival night, where they make you ditch all your stuff, but you're like one go bag, and then you have to go build a shelter and live out there for a couple of days. Well, the instructors went out and they went hunting for elk, and they were chasing an elk. Somehow, unbeknownst to them, they got in between a mama bear and a cub, and the mama bear came after him and hopped on one of the team guys and was mauling him, and the other guy shot him off of him and killed him. Killed the bear, and the guy lived.
Yep. Holy shit, that's insane. Yeah. Wow. But, I've seen this video, I think on Instagram, Clay Newcomb. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I want to say he didn't even have like a compound bow. And this bear, he has this crazy video of it, like this giant grizzly coming like right up to him basically. And he shoots him at like 5-10 yards with like a recurve bow. It's crazy, this video, like gives chills. They're fucking huge. They're fucking huge animals.
They're massive. One of my good buddies, a new guy in my old platoon, he just shot one, I'm going to call it, I don't know, last month, and he shot it at 7 yards, and he says he was stalking it.
Holy shit.
Yep, with a bow. He was stalking it, and he was stalking him, and he's like, we ended up doing circles, and I caught him at 7 yards and whacked him with an arrow and put him down. Yep.
Yeah, bears are freaky. I was elk hunting with my brother like last month. He's an archery hunter too, but we had a trail cam set up where we were sitting, and we're like walking out in the dark, right? And you can't see shit, and we just have bows. The next day he looks at the trail cam, and like right before we got in there's a fucking grizzly like sniffing out the spot. So yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful out there.
I have zero experience with grizzly bears. I've never even seen one in real life, but Josh was telling me all about the grizzly bear population in Montana, how it's spreading like crazy, and they still won't allow hunting. Of course, we solved that problem. We said they should just have a lottery with like 10 tags, and each tag, and anybody can apply. And the more money you put in, the more chance, like let's just say the entry is $10. And the more money you put in, the better your chances are. I'm like, you can raise probably $20 million in a month and a half.
Oh yeah,
and
it's like sheep hunting
for conservation, yet you still won't do it. It's ridiculous. But
So what's like the black bear hunting like in Montana? Is it like over the counter tags?
Yep, it's over the counter. So I have spent a lot of time black bear hunting. Granted, I only went in one place in Montana, and I've yet to kill one. But I apply for the general combo tag every year, and that comes with. So you're applying for a bull tag essentially, and then if you draw, you get a bull tag, a mule deer tag, and then I always buy the bear tag. I think for out of state, I think it's like $300.
Yeah.
And but this year,
shit, it's not bad.
Not at all. This year I didn't draw, but I bought a bear tag, and I bought a cow elk tag over the counter. And I think that was
nice.
Around $250, $270, somewhere right in there. So
that's not too bad.
Nope.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Now I'm getting Montana a little bit more dialed in as I meet more people and get offered, more locations to chase bears. So I think next year, if I don't get it done on Jay's property out there near White Sulphur, probably go further west and meet up with some folks and try to put a bear on the ground. But
is this all public land? Because I've heard there's like you always hear the little quarrel of like the public land hunters. Is it slim pickings out there? I'm
not too sure. I don't think the public land out there is bad hunting at all. I've been fortunate enough where I've just hunted private land out there between, just friends that have land out there and that have allowed me to hunt. But I have yet to hunt the public land. Actually, I guess I just lied to you a little bit. Behind Jay's property, there's a bunch of national forests. So we'll walk into there, but it's not where we're primarily hunting.
It's a good friend to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Somebody with hunting land.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cool. So tell everyone where they can find you. And of course, I'm going to put up pictures of all your artwork because I think it's just the coolest shit in the world. right? That monkey and that your big headband and everything you've done. It's like running water, or a fire. You just can't stop looking at it. It's so cool when you see something new every time. But tell everyone where they can find you and where they could see all your freaking awesome artwork.
Yeah, well, thanks for the compliment. Appreciate that. So you guys can find me on Instagram, YouTube, X, TikTok, just Jen Loree official, or Loree as Sam likes to say. I've got a couple websites. I got metalmonkeydesignco.com, and then I have like a gallery specific website with just art, which is theoutpostgallery.com.
Excellent. Well, everyone check it out. Her work is absolutely amazing. And Jen, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate you.
Yeah. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Enjoy the rest of your day and can't wait to see what you're coming up with next.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Out of here.